Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a video that has taken us the past few days to make.
An overly long amount of time.
Yeah, we couldn't get our schedules to line up. But finally we are here. Finally we are ready.
You waited for me.
Yes. So
like, this is old news.
So today we are watching and reacting and breaking down the FNaF 2 official teaser trailer. The first 48 seconds of footage that we have from the upcoming movie, December 5th. So what we're going to do here is first we're going to actually watch the video. I've already seen it a few times. I've gotten a few things that we can break down and look at. And then he is going to give his first reaction because this is his first time seeing it.
I've tried to prevent myself from spoilers, but it's hard when this other man in this voice call with me has spoiled a few things.
Well, you know, that's just how it goes sometimes.
Wow.
But let's get to it, shall we? Let's get to it.
Okay, here we go. Give me a drum roll. It's cooler that way. Wow, that is not coming in through the Discord. Freddy Fazbear's.
Dun dun dun. Okay, so that's probably Mangle. That's probably a part of Mangle. I can't break down the. Yeah, no, we gotta react first. Let's see if I can turn it up a little bit.
Okay.
They're out there, Mike.
Where?
Everywhere.
They have broken containment.
Dun 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 dun. And then the hardy har. Oh, okay.
That was it?
Yeah, that was the first teaser trailer for the movie.
Wow, now you get to see all my recommended videos.
So obviously we start off with the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place poster right here at the start. So my question would be, right, is this the FNaF 1 location or the FNaF 2 location? Right? Because
it'd have to be the FNaF 1 location because this wasn't the poster for it. Like, it just wasn't.
Like this wasn't the poster for the FNaF 2 location?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so see the question is, where? I mean, it's hard to frame. What timeline does this take place on, right? Because in the games, you have the FNaF 2 location technically existed before the FNaF 1 location.
Yes, the events of FNaF 2 in the movies and all the what was it? It's not Fun Time, is it? Toy animatronics. There we go. All the toy animatronics were before all the FNaF 1 animatronics, which we already saw in the first movie.
Which I just want to say makes zero sense because why would you create such complicated AI robots and then go and like regress for the next location to like these ones? I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense even in the games, all the lore and timelines and everything. So
yeah, I think technically they were like, we're kind of going bankrupt. Let's just kind of go back to our roots with that one.
That's like the best explanation we could have for it, right?
I as far as I can remember, I haven't kept up with the lore for years. Yeah,
it's a messy lore. It's fun if you can keep up with it and theorize, but it's pretty messy.
There's just too much to do.
Yeah. So we did see there were photos that came out of the FNaF 1 location from the first movie, and it had like a bunch of flyers stuck up on the doors saying, I think it was like FazFest, like come to FazFest.
FazFest.
Which is, if you look after the title screen for Blumhouse, 11 seconds right here. This is FazFest right here. So we had a bunch of information leaked about this because this is where they hired a bunch of extras for the movie. And a bunch of the extras like leaked information that was happening there. So
yeah, that is totally illegal.
Yeah, but you know it happened. So what we know is, as you can see at the very end of the teaser trailer here, let me see, where is it? Like 40 seconds. Yeah, right here. 43 seconds. It's like a split second. You can see Toy Freddy here walking around FazFest with all the people cosplaying things in the background. This is what we were told, is that Toy Freddy would be walking around FazFest and something would happen here at FazFest that would be like a huge issue, like some kind of catastrophe would happen with Toy Freddy, and that's why they would retire these toy animatronics in the movie. That's what we were told from extras that were at the FazFest scene, is that like there's going to be some kind of thing that happens with Toy Freddy, like somebody gets injured or something like that. So
from what I'm hearing it sound like, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, the original movie takes place before FNaF 2. This one takes place at FNaF 2, and so if there is a potential third movie, it take place during the first FNaF game.
Well, as far as I could tell, the way they're going to be structuring this is we're going to see the first movie, simple adaptation of the first game, introduce you to the pizzeria, the animatronics, all that, right? Second movie is going to be an adaptation of a prequel. Instead of making a prequel movie, they're going to be making a sequel movie with quite a few flashbacks. And we actually see a couple of those possible flashbacks in this teaser trailer, which we'll break down later. But that's most likely how they're going to structure it, is instead of having a prequel, we're going to see a lot of stuff that came before FNaF 1 in this movie that will help with setup, world building, character building, all of that, with the lore and everything, going into our third movie, which will most likely be like Springtrap. So, you know, whatever happens with Springtrap is probably going to be the third movie.
Yeah, because they already did that sort of FNaF 3 thing at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, where he gets locked behind the wall in the storage room in the suit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be future Springtrap, and he says, "I always come back." So that's what we're assuming is like the third movie. That would make sense if that was the third movie. And then this is gonna be building up to that. This is gonna like break down some of the lore and tell you some of the character relationships and all kinds of stuff that happened before the first movie, stuff like that. So that's going to be kind of the purpose of this movie, is to bridge the gap between the first and third movies, which makes sense. So let's see. Let's start from the beginning here. Now we've kind of tried to establish a little bit of a timeline. One of the first things we see after the poster there is this exoskeleton. Or no, is it endoskeleton? Is it called an endo? I think it's called an endo, right?
It would be endo.
Yeah, endo is inside, exo is outside, right? I think that's how it works. So this is the this is one of the endoskeletons. It looks like it's powering on. So as you can see, if you can kind of like look in the background a little bit, it looks like there's like a mess of like wires and parts and stuff.
Yeah.
So
it could be Mangle. Let me take a look at Mangle here.
I forget where we see
look it up
him
on the internet. Because I'm seeing that, and I'm looking at the teeth, and I don't think they exactly match Mangle.
Well, I'm not saying... Well, okay, so let me see if I can find the image for it real quick. There should be... Yeah, here it is. So, let me send you this screenshot here. So, if you can see under Mangle, there's an endoskeleton, like, as
the other one. There. Good,
so, people are saying... See, like, this is the...
Could be that one, yeah.
If you look at it from like straight on, like from his perspective, that would be the left eye that you can see there on the endoskeleton, and that's also
there's only one eye that it has.
That's also the eye that we can see on the endoskeleton powering up here in the teaser trailer.
And given the proximity of the eye to the little cross section in the middle, and there not being one on the other side, this would be that other Mangle face. Though awfully beat up and worn.
Yes, it is interesting. So the question is this Mangle powering on for the first time, or has he powered up before? Right.
Well, he would in order to get to this state, he'd have to have already been retired.
Right. But the question is, has he been moving around before this, or is this the first time we're going to see like him as Mangle moving around? Because in the original lore, Mangle was Toy Foxy, just like all the rest of the animatronics. But if I remember correctly, he got taken apart and put back together a lot by the kids, right?
Yes, that was like the little play mechanic there.
Yeah. So he ended up as kind of like a mess of wires and parts because he kept getting taken apart and put back together. So the question is, why is there an endoskeleton as part of him? As far as I know, he doesn't have an endo head with him in the games, does he?
No, I'm pretty sure he does.
Does he? Okay, maybe
He's just he's an animatronic like any other, but now with the making it a little easier to take apart and put back together.
Oh yeah, he does have that endo head, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So yeah, this is probably largely what Mangle's gonna look like in the movie. Is kind of a somewhat upright humanoid form. Just like kind of a mess. So that's going to be interesting to see how they move him around. Apparently he has like 11 or 12 people that are working as like the puppet masters for that single animatronic because of how complicated it is.
I mean, that's more limbs than he even has.
So I mean that's going to be interesting to see what he does and how he moves around and what he's going to mean to the movie. But let's see here. So after we see that eye kind of powering up, you see like the light up there.
Welcome.
We then see the Blumhouse title card.
Yeah.
And let's see. Let me
me
just play this audio here without talking.
Welcome back. Are you ready to start the show?
All right. So it's somebody says, "Welcome back. Are you ready to start the show?" While that is playing, and then it switches to Faz Fest. So we're assuming that Faz Fest is after the FNaF 1 movie because there were flyers for it on the original location. Unless Faz Fest took place before Mike started working at the pizzeria as a security guard. That's the question, right? Because if this is before FNaF 1, then this could be Matthew Lillard, William Afton at Faz Fest. This could be a flashback where he's at Faz Fest hosting like the whole event. Like, welcome back. Are you ready to start the show? It sounds like William Afton's voice to me. That sounds like him. So it could be that he's hosting this, or maybe it's a line taken from somewhere else. I don't know, but it does sound like him, right?
I don't know. There's a little too much audio distortion to really know for sure. You could make an argument for it, though. But then again, if it is a flashback, his voice might have changed between then.
Right.
So, I don't really know.
So, Faz Fest, we don't really get to see much. I mean, you see a couple of cosplayers. It seems like a pretty normal carnival here. And then you have like the wheel with all the characters on it.
Yeah.
And then
nothing really to know.
But then the voice says, "Count with me now," right? And it's the same voice as from the title card, and it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 until the end of the trailer.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
That's just for when they're ready to start the show.
So we do have this shot of
time.
Abby right after that, and as you can see, I mean, she's riding up to the FNaF 2 location right now, because you can see like the reflection of the sign in the water where she's riding. So she's
the
at
original
the FNaF 2 location here, right? And the very next scene,
it wouldn't be the FNaF 2; it'd be the FNaF 1. Well, no, it is it is that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, this is the FNaF 2 location here.
Yeah, never mind. Don't mind me.
So the very next scene, it says, "Gone to fix my friend." So I wonder if these two scenes are related. It would make sense if Abby had told Mike, "I'm gonna go fix my friends," and then she rides.
They're
out
totally
to the
related.
location.
Yeah.
But the question is, what does she mean by that? Right? What? So
well, we had that same thing in the first movie, right? It's just, how did she figure out about the second location?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Right? Is like, how did she meet the toy animatronics? Why does she trust them after the first movie? How did she find out about the second location? What does she mean by fix them? That's something interesting. Fix them. Why does she need to fix them? What's broken about them?
Yeah, there's not... there shouldn't be too much wrong with them.
And then that's the other thing, right? Is she's essentially communicating with them. Which made sense in the first movie. She was communicating with kids. But in the second movie here, they're AIs. I mean, we are assuming they are because in the games, the FNaF 2 animatronics are AI robots that were programmed to say, you know, we can protect the pizzeria. But then that went wrong. The programming went wrong. In the original game, the AIs think, oh, this guy is a danger to the pizzeria, so we better take him out of here, right? And that's why you have to avoid them in the original FNaF 2 game. So the question is, are they AIs in this movie? If so, I mean, clearly they have some kind of relationship with Abby.
Somehow.
Somewhere in this trailer, I don't know where, but one of the animatronics actually talks. And I've heard a couple people say this trailer confirms that these animatronics can talk. Which is interesting because when we originally got the 4 scripts from the movie, so for context, they released 4 scripts from the movie. Well, they released 4 scripts. They said one of the 4 scripts is actually from the movie. That is a legit script. The other 3 are misleading. So what's interesting is that one of those scripts, Chica is talking to Abby and telling her to press a button, and Vanessa is telling her not to. Which is interesting because if in that script Chica's able to talk, that could be the correct script because we now have it confirmed that these animatronics can talk, right? That script essentially told us ahead of time that the animatronics can talk. I'm not saying that that's the correct script 100%, but it does bring up the question if it is, right? And if it is, what button does Chica want Abby to press? Because in the script, I'll have to see if I can find it, and I'll edit it into the video around here. In the script, Chica says, after Abby presses the button, "You've saved us," or something along those lines. It's something like, "You've saved us," right? And Vanessa is vehemently telling her, like, do not press that button, right? So that could possibly have something to do with the whole "gone to fix my friends" thing, right? So that's an interesting question. What does that button do in that case? So, we can sit here and theorize all day about it. Honestly, we're not going to know until we get another trailer, probably. So after we see the "gone to fix my friends" scene, we see Mike talking to Vanessa. This is clearly after she's out of the hospital, after the first movie. She looks a lot more ragged, for one thing. But she says, they're here. Let's play the scene real quick.
Where?
Everywhere. Okay, wait. So
They're out there.
yeah, they're out there, Mike. That's it. That's the line. So they're out there. So, and then she says everywhere, right? And then we see shots of the animatronics in different places. We see one in a school. We see another one picking up a garage door later here. And then like right here we see one picking up a garage door. And then, we see I think there's a shot of Toy Bonnie, it looks like, because of the blue ears. Yeah, right over here. We see Toy Bonnie with the blue ears, and it looks like he's holding some kind of screwdriver or something. Right here. See, this looks like a screwdriver to me. But this is definitely Toy Bonnie because of the blue ears, right? But then we see these 2 people right here in the house that look scared. So essentially, what's happening is that these animatronics are roaming around, breaking into houses, breaking into schools, and attacking people, right? So the question is why? Vanessa tells Mike that the animatronics are everywhere. So just want to say
I'm wondering how they're even allowed to get out of their pizzeria setting.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So that's going to be interesting. But also,
that wouldn't make sense.
I just want to point this out here because we're at this scene right now.
Yeah.
For one thing, how does Vanessa know they're everywhere? For another thing, why is she so vague about where they are? For another thing, why is she coming to Mike and she's like, "They're everywhere, Mike. Oh no!" I'm just like,
look, man. They didn't think this out. They're dumb. We know this from the first movie. We know they're dumb.
I know it didn't have the best writing in the first movie. I still really like the first movie. I didn't think it was that bad. But I mean, it's just like, this is like, what are we talking about here? Why are they just everywhere? What are we going to do about it? They're everywhere, Mike. Oh no. I just think that's funny to me.
Just waiting for them to figure out what an EMP is.
Yeah, that would probably work, actually. Well,
like, oh no, EMP.
Would it actually work? I guess because the shock sticks worked on the ones from the first movie, it would work.
Yeah, if those work, this EMP is gonna do fine.
Yeah, it probably would do fine, wouldn't it? Yeah, they should have thought of about that. Hey, maybe that's how they stop Springtrap, is they just EMP him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, a Springtrap. I don't know how that would work with Springtrap, but for these
I guess-
FNaF 2 animatronics, who, as you said earlier, are just AI.
Yeah, they're
It
very
should be
much
fine.
more like robotic. They're robots, right?
Yeah.
So,
It's
this
just-
next scene, this is interesting.
Even a bucket
right?
of water would probably do it.
Where?
So we see this hand pressing a Showtime button, right? So this
The
is
Showtime button. No.
this has got to be a flashback. This is somebody pressing the
Showtime
button back when the pizzeria was still in operation. This is them about to start a show with the animatronics. So I don't know whose hand this is. I could look up pictures of Matthew Lillard's hands all day, but then I'd probably get put on a list somewhere. But you know,
We see a lot of hair on that wrist, so definitely a man.
yeah. I mean, obviously,
Older
yeah, we
man.
knew that much. But
Probably.
the question is, because we have a leaked casting for
Probably
Henry.
whoever appears in the scene right after. That guy looking in the window.
Oh, I don't think so.
His collar sleeve color matches.
Does it? But why would he be at the pizzeria pressing the Showtime button? See,
I don't know.
I think two
Why
people
is-
would make sense, right?
Why is there an animatronic attacking the man through the window, right?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Uh-huh.
But listen. I think there were two things that would make sense for who this could be. First of all, it could be Afton. It could be a flashback of when the pizzeria was in operation. It could just simply be Afton. Or it has been leaked, it has been confirmed. We know who is playing Henry. We know Henry is going to be in this movie. He's going to be played by Skeet Ulrich, who I'll put a picture up on screen right now. He is very well known for being in the first Scream movie, along with Matthew Lillard, actually. So this is their reunion, which is pretty cool. But it could also be Henry.
But does the actor there, does he have hairy arms?
I haven't spent
gotta know this.
a lot of free time looking at Skeet Ulrich's arms, so I couldn't tell you for 100% whether he does or not. I'd have to look him up and see, but
You gotta stare more at these people's arms, at their arm hairs, man.
I feel like I'd find some pretty weird stuff if I started looking up like the celebrities' arms and stuff. So maybe I don't want to go onto that side of the internet. I don't know about that. But those are the two things that would make sense. It's probably either Afton or Henry right here. And this is most likely a flashback to when the pizzeria was in operation. So yeah, next scene. This guy right here that we see peering in through the window in the school. This is either a teacher or the principal, I'd say, based on the outfit he's wearing and the fact that he's in the school after hours. But this is
Why is there something in the
what's his
school is the question.
I think this guy's name is Wayne Knight. If I remember correctly, the actor's name is Wayne Knight. He's well known for playing Dennis Nedry in the original Jurassic Park movie. He was the fat guy who stole the whatever it was from the lab in Jurassic Park. I forget what it was now. It's been a few years since I watched the movie. But he was the one who shut down the power at the Jurassic Park and let everything happen. So that's this guy. This is Wayne Knight right here. So it's pretty cool that we're seeing him in another movie. It's been a while since I've seen him in anything. But as you can tell, he's peering through this window. He's like, what's going on in there? There's something going on in there. And then we see these eyes light up. And this is Toy Chica right here. You can see like the beak shape right here from the lighting. And then we also see later, after he gets pulled, well, actually, while he's getting pulled through, you can see yellow hands pulling him through. So that's Toy Chica. And then you see, these are Toy Chica's feet right here, walking through the school, right?
Yeah. During that school scene, you think somebody could check the model on that water fountain and see exactly when this when this school is?
Wait. Let me see if I can see which water fountain you're talking about.
The one he's getting pulled
goodness.
in and his feet go up. We got a water fountain there. And school water fountain's pretty distinct.
I might have a couple people I could talk to see about when this.
We gotta figure out the model on this thing.
Because if we could figure that out, we could place the timeline of this movie. I didn't even think about that.
Exactly,
That's
man.
actually a crazy point. What in the world, bro? But yeah, he's getting pulled through here, so they're probably going to keep that off screen. They're going for PG-13 again with this movie. Stuff like this is probably going to be kept off screen. You're just going to see him get yanked through there, but then it's going to cut away probably, and then probably next scene is going to be
hear a lot of
Chica walking
screams.
away, right? Yeah, most likely. Then we see Mike, Abby, and Vanessa all looking scared. They're huddled together here in a house. So the question is, see, we see an animatronic pulling up. It looks like Toy Freddy, I'd say, based on the color and everything. He's pulling up the garage door. Could this be him breaking into their house?
Well, I'd assume so. We see, Mangle going in through the window as they're scared in the house.
Right. See, the thing is, though, they often do it like where they will show a shot, but it's from a completely different part of the movie. And then they put them in like a random order, and you're like, "Oh, maybe these two things go together." And then you watch the movie, and then they're like an hour and a half apart from each other, and it's just like, okay,
maybe.
wow, I can't believe I ever thought they were the same scene.
Yeah, because they did say they're everywhere, and there's another couple who I don't think we know being attacked in their house.
See, I'd say the couple is most likely being attacked by a Toy Bonnie here, right?
Yeah,
For
but then
whatever reason,
just
Toy
based
Bonnie
on what you
wasn't in
just
there.
said.
I don't know. See, it looks like Mangle is definitely in the same scene as the scene where Mike, Abby, and Vanessa are huddled up together, based on like the time of day and like the style of the house and the lighting and everything. Those look like the same scene.
Yeah, but by that logic, I feel like the Toy Bonnie scene there with the screwdriver and that couple right afterwards, that looks slightly off to me. Based on the lighting and the color in the back.
Well, it's definitely. I mean, at the very least, we can tell it's not Mike's house because it's bright in there. You can see like the light reflecting off of Toy Bonnie's ears and everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you see a little in the ear. You see the reflection of something in front. Where if you go ahead just a bit to the scared couple, there's nothing that emits light in front there that would work. As well as light being behind where it's coming from.
It could be like two different shots from the same scene. Like maybe we see Toy Bonnie and then they move around or something. But it would make sense to me if they're like looking up right now and Toy Bonnie is like holding something in the air. Like that's why that's why those two scenes being together would make sense to me, right? It's like they're they're cowering away from what he's raising in the air. It looks like to me.
Yeah. Also something to note. You don't see any form of shadow in that scared couple scene. I don't see a shadow anywhere for what they'd be looking at.
Oh.
Because we see the lighting is coming from behind their animatronic.
You're
So
right.
I don't see lighting there. I'm wondering if they're looking at Mangle crawling on the ceiling or something.
Ooh.
Just a guess, but
Because Mangle...
I mean, judging by how high they're looking up, it could be.
Mangle in the original FNaF 2 game does hang from the ceiling when you encounter him. And if I remember correctly, you have to like flash your flashlight at him or something to get rid of him, right?
I think that was Foxy. Let me see what... I don't remember what Mangle actually was.
But, he does like hang off the ceiling with all his wires and parts and everything.
Definitely.
So we definitely could get some shots of him hanging off the ceiling, which would be insane.
Yeah. I guarantee you'll see him hanging off the ceiling. Like, there's nothing... It would be dumb if they don't do that.
I think that would be a really cool shot. Like, that would put me on the edge of my seat. Like, he's crawling on the ceiling. Like, what's about to happen next, bro?
I think this couple is dead is what's about to happen.
I mean, honestly, I don't see him making out of this, yeah.
Yeah,
the question is
unnamed
why?
couple, they're gone.
In the first movie, the animatronics attacked because people were breaking in and threatening their home, essentially, right? In this movie, they're literally like going out and being aggressive, which is extremely interesting. There's got to be a reason behind that, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Not in any sort of lore standpoint from the original games.
I think from a movie perspective, this is probably largely done to kind of make it like a wider scope of a movie and kind of like take it outside of a single location so they can do like more with the story, more with the lore, and do like more kinds of like intense shots and like maybe make it like a lot more suspenseful. So from that perspective, it makes sense. I just hope they explain in the story well why they would be doing this, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit of an issue in the first movie.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I will say this: I'm not looking for like a scary movie. Like, I don't care if it's scary or not.
Yeah.
What I want is to be like on the edge of my seat, like worried about what's about to happen next. Like, I want like the characters to be in danger to where I'm like, okay, you guys better make it through this because otherwise they're gonna be really mad at you. Like in the first movie, there wasn't really like a lot of stakes, you know. Like it was just kind of like they were there, and it was like, yeah, you know, they're gonna make it through. Oh, they'll be fine. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you already knew what was going to happen basically by the time you turned on the movie.
Yeah, I thought it was still an entertaining movie, and I really enjoyed it. But it did like lack that kind of like those kinds of stakes and like suspense, which I think this movie
I didn't
seems
enjoy
to be
it all
bringing.
too much.
I think this movie will be a lot better in that sense. I think they kind of recognized that was an issue from the first movie, and they're going to kind of like work on that here to where it's actually like it's going to keep you on the edge of your seat, hopefully.
I mean, that's kind of the hope. You know, hopefully we get like, I don't know, Abby dying or something.
What? No! Don't say that. That's
like,
crazy,
suspense, man.
No, I mean, I don't want.
If she
I don't
dies,
want any
who
of
else
them to
would die?
I don't want any of them to die. I'm going to be honest. I mean,
Exactly. Now, if you know they can die, oh boy.
yes, that's the thing. You need to know that they can die, and if there's absolutely the possibility that they could, that's what they need. They need that sense of like you're actually worried for the characters. You're not sure if they're going to make it through or not. That's what the first movie didn't have. Of course, I still hope they make it through. I don't want anybody to die. I love all three of them. I think they're great characters. But I would love to have those stakes of like, oh man, what's going to happen next? You know what I mean? But let's see here. So I'm gonna go on a 2.25 speed for this next scene so that I can actually like catch it.
Yeah.
So we see
the hallway and the doors.
we see Afton. This is clearly Afton. This is clearly like Matthew Lillard's pose or stature, and he is. It looks like he's wearing like jeans and a purple shirt, which is actually what we saw him wearing in one of the set photos that we got from the charity stream that Daco did. So I'll throw that picture up on screen here, if I can find it.
Wow, what a great photo.
But this is Matthew
looks
Lillard right
handsome.
here. And if you can see, like, from the start of the scene here, let's see if we can get back to the start. It's like the doors are, like, flapping around. It's like they're suddenly, like, closing here, right? And, like, one is, like, moving back and forth. This is not anybody doing this. This is based on, like, the next scene we see where Vanessa's holding a gun, which I don't think they're the same scene, but I think what they're trying to communicate
definitely not. That
here,
lighting is way different.
well, yeah, but I think what they're trying to communicate here is this is most likely either a flashback of Vanessa's or this is like a vision of Vanessa's.
It's gotta be some sort of flashback. Guarantee it. The doors don't make any sense otherwise.
See, that's the thing. Is
whether
like
it's Vanessa, I don't think so.
well, I think we're actually going to see like the dynamic
too old.
between Matthew and
Composed with the gun.
or I think we're going to see the dynamic between Afton and Vanessa explored in this movie, which was something they kind of like teased a little bit in the first movie. It was like this weird dynamic between them. I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the second movie, especially through flashbacks to like when she lived with him and when she was growing up and stuff like that. But the question is this like an actual flashback or is this a vision? And the reason I asked that is because Vanessa has just gotten out of the hospital, right? And there's a lot of scenes in this trailer, like you can see her looking very ragged. You know, like in the scene where she's talking to Mike and she tells him, "Oh, the animatronics are everywhere." You know, like this scene, she looks rough. She doesn't look like she did in the first movie. She looks awful here.
You know that this could match up well with a vision for that Mangle scene we saw earlier.
What do you mean? Oh, like that. He's not actually breaking through the window, but instead, like, she's imagining that.
Oh, maybe that, or it's just like, hey guys, let's get all the animatronics to unleash an assault on this one house, and I'll come along too.
See, the thing is though, like, what I was trying to get to is like, after the hospital stay and everything, from the way she looks, I'd guess we're gonna see her suffering from a form of PTSD in this movie. She's gonna have to deal with what happened in the last movie. She's gonna have to move on from a lot of things and a lot of issues that she had. And I think we're gonna see like a lot of like flashbacks to her childhood, a lot of the things that defined and shaped her, and possibly we might see some scenes where she like kind of freaks out. And like as you see it in the scene right after the scene with the doors, is she's like whipping out like this pistol with like a scared look on her face, like she's become very paranoid, you know.
Nah, she's had to deal with a lot of deaths before from people entering the pizzeria. She's a security guard. You know, she's fine.
I know, but
she can
she's
deal
never
with it.
actually been one of the victims. That's the thing. And on top of that, she was a victim
She'll
of her own.
put some dirt on it.
Well, the thing is too, though, is she was a victim of her own father. Is the thing, right? Like that's even heavier.
It's fine.
Like in the first movie, you see her
Hello,
like,
Tuesday.
I can't help you out because I'm terrified of him, right? But she puts herself in the line of fire to save Mike and Abby, and that puts her in the hospital. So that may impact her a lot in the second movie, where she's become like a lot more emotionally reliant on Mike, and she's not really able to function on her own much anymore. And we might see like a kind of psychological journey in this movie where she has to like move on and deal with what happened. But until then, you know, we might see some scenes of like increased paranoia, you know, like freaking out over things, like pulling out a gun like that, you know, stuff like that.
I suppose that makes sense.
But next scene is where it gets interesting here, right? Because we have Balloon Boy in full HD resolution 3D textures. He's no longer a small figurine. It's actual animatronic now. And if you pause the scene on Balloon Boy here, do you notice anything in the background?
Let's see. Oh, this is the office, isn't it?
Yup. This is the FNaF 2
He is ready to turn
office.
off your flashlight.
So the way it works is in the original game, there are these two little vents on either side of the office. This is the vent right here. So Balloon Boy can pop out of the vents, and I forget how you deal with Balloon Boy. I forget how you get rid of him.
Oh, you don't.
You don't?
You don't.
Okay.
You die. Yeah. He gets in, your flashlight's off, and it's just, you hope you don't have to use it.
Right. So, you know, the way he works is you gotta prevent him from climbing into your vents. If he does get all the way through your vents, then he'll turn off your flashlight. He'll steal the batteries to your flashlight, and you gotta essentially try to survive the rest of the night without your flashlight, which is essentially impossible unless you're like 10 seconds away from winning, anyways.
Yeah. You know, this is inaccurate there. He's on the right side of the office, but in the original games, Balloon Boy was on the left side of the office.
Everybody was pointing that out. Everybody was pointing out he's on the right side of the office, even though in the games he comes from the left side of the office, which is interesting. But that means, so what we're going to see is like, if you look at this from like straight on here, this is like the entrance to the office right here. This is the right side of the office. Over there is going to be the left side of the office. And then back here is going to be like the desk. In front, like where Balloon Boy is looking, the direction he's looking at the desk of the office right now. So the question is he currently looking at a security guard sitting at the desk in the FNaF 2 office?
I'd have to imagine so. No other reason for him to turn on his eyes otherwise.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, he's got to look all freaky, right? I mean, man, it just... the animatronic work in this movie is beautiful. I mean, with the first movie, they did amazing work with the animatronics. They look so good. And this one, they look even better. I mean, they just went all out doing these animatronics. I mean, absolute
Balloon
props
Boy
to,
even an animatronic? Because I don't think we ever see him actually move. He just teleports.
That's a good question. I didn't think about that. I don't know now. I don't know, dude.
Prop figurine with eyes that glow.
Yeah, maybe. I wonder if he's actually going to teleport around in this movie. And if he does, like, how are they going to explain that? That'll be interesting, man. But anyways, his eyes flash. And then this next scene is huge. This is the Spring Bonnie hand picking up a knife. So this is pre Springtrap. The hand is clean. The hand is nice. The suit looks nice. So this is a flashback.
Mm-hmm.
This is a flashback to Afton as Spring Bonnie before FNaF 1
he about
movie.
to commit a felony.
Is that a felony?
I don't think it's a felony.
I think it would be a little bit worse than a felony, right? Probably, maybe. I don't know. But this most likely means we're gonna see like a lot more.
Oh no, it actually is a felony. Yeah. Okay.
It is?
Yeah, it's a felony. He's about to commit a felony.
Is there anything worse than a felony?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, well.
Yeah.
A felony
That's the
doesn't even sound like that bad of a
felony
word, you
crimes.
know? A felony sounds like there's something worse than a felony.
Nope. Examples include manslaughter, murder, aggravated assault, kidnapping, and more.
So, most of the things that he does, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna have way too many counts to survive.
He's got a huge rap sheet, bro. But I have talked to my friend, the leaker. I do know a guy who does like leaking information for FNaF movies, and he told me, very, very exciting, we are going to see a lot more of Matthew Lillard and Spring Bonnie in this movie. Like, they're going to get a lot more screen time. They're going to get a lot more development. Because that was one of the big things about the first movie, was Matthew Lillard was absolutely the best actor in the entire thing. And he got like 7 minutes of screen time in the entire movie. But he's going to get way more in this one. They're actually going to show him a lot. He's going to be much more important, which I'm very excited for, because he is such a talented actor. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this scene right here, this next scene after that scene, we see somebody being lifted up by Mangle. And it looks like, if you see there in his hand, it's got like a red light on it. This looks like a film camera.
He's a YouTuber.
Well, okay. So he's either one of two things. Either he's a ghost hunter who went into the pizzeria expecting to find cool abandoned stuff and make lots of money off of it on YouTube. Or he's a content creator who went in for the exact same reason. So we do know
24 hours in the most haunted pizzeria in the world.
This girl on the floor here, this is McKenna Grace. If I remember correctly, she was most recently in that last Ghostbusters movie, Frozen Empire. I don't know if she's been in anything since then. I'll have to look at her IMDb page. But you know, I've seen her in Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters movies. I don't know if I've seen her in anything else. I probably have, but I don't know. But she was apparently a huge fan of the first movie and really wanted to be included in the second. So she's here, and it looks like she's got headphones or something like that around her neck here, right? And it looks like it's the same scene as this other guy here who has the film camera. Oh, wait, did I put it? Wait, okay, no, it's just really fast that it plays this. Okay, let me put it back on 0.25. So it looks like we're going to see a couple of people, again, being idiots and breaking in to get something out of it. Like, they're going to trash the place, they're going to make content out of it, whatever. People just never learn, do they? I mean, it's
I spent 24 hours in the most haunted pizzeria in the world with my girlfriend.
Yeah, that sounds like a really great idea, right? That sounds like a great way to extend your lifespan. But yeah, that's most likely what it is.
10 million views.
They're either like some kind of ghost hunters, which is less likely. I'd say most likely there's some kind of content creators that are trying to make videos off of this place. But you know, it's going to be kind of the same thing as the first movie, where it's like this is probably going to be a pretty early scene that kind of helps to develop the danger of the location and the animatronics that are there, I'd say.
They're just going to redo the first scene they did in the first movie.
Yeah, kind of, probably. Which is gonna like develop what's going on, like all the danger and all that. So, you know, that's what I'd predict this scene to be. based on how the first movie went. But we'll certainly see once we see the movie. Anyways, this is the scene that was leaked a few months ago. I think it was like 2, 3, 4 months ago or something like that. Somewhere between 2 to 4 months ago, where it was leaked that somebody would be hitting Mangle with their car. And this was going to happen. So this is what we're seeing here. This is most likely the scene where somebody hits Mangle with their car and he goes flying up into the windshield, right? But like what I find interesting is like this little bit of thing that comes through the window. It looks like a little bit of a spike. Like, is that one of Mangle's arms or what is that, right?
Let me take a look at the design again. Yep, that's the hand.
Right, let's look at this real quick, right? Yeah, that is the hand, isn't it? That's most likely what that is, I'd say.
That's the hand.
Like this hand right here on the side. That seems pretty similar to me. Interesting. So yeah, that's probably his hand going through the windshield because he just got ran over by a car.
Yeah, so here's my question, right? Most important question in the movie.
Right.
If this person ran over Mangle with the car, are they going to get sued for property damage?
Well, who would be suing them? Like, who owns Mangle at this point? Like, if you say they got sued for property damages, there's somebody that still owns the animatronics in the pizzeria, which would be Afton technically, right?
It would be, or that company that he owns.
Yeah,
because they still own the lot, right?
I'd assume so. I mean, see, in the first
considering
movie,
they have security guards there. So.
In the first movie, he pretty much suggests that he's the one that's keeping the first location alive because he's like, owner just can't bear to put it down yet. I guess he's a little bit of a softie or like an oldie or something like that. But he's essentially saying like, I just can't bring myself to tear down the original pizzeria. Mainly because he's still using it. But So
yeah, regarding that then. This person is entirely safe to commit any sort of property damage on that pizzeria. Because at that point, they're going to have to talk about the child murder, and I don't think he wants to bring up the felonies by suing.
Yeah, I see, the question is this before all of that gets discovered? See, because there was a cut scene in the first movie. They cut it from the movie where they had like a bunch of newspaper articles and they had like news reels and stuff showing like when the pizzeria got shut down in the first place. So, I mean, is this before that happens or not? Is the question. Like, I mean, clearly this scene is not. Clearly, this scene is not. This is probably not a flashback, I would say. This is probably modern day.
Oh, yeah.
And modern day takes place after the first movie. But in terms of flashbacks, are the flashbacks before all of that is the question.
I think
that is an interesting question.
I think there will be some before and some after. I think they're going to skip around a bit.
I bet you we'll see a couple flashbacks when Afton is telling Vanessa to keep Mike at the pizzeria. Like, he's manipulating her during the first movie. Like, we'll probably see flashbacks that took place with Vanessa between Afton and her during the first movie, I bet.
Probably, yeah.
Well, for now, we are going to have to end the video here. As soon as the next
trailer... I haven't even had a 3-hour Genshin rant yet.
No. As soon
Come on, man. Genshin is very important to the plot of the...
No! Let me do the outro! So, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, as soon as the next trailer comes out, which is rumored to be like late June, we will do another video breaking that down. So if you want to see that, subscribe to the channel. Let me know down in the comments how excited you are for it. And be prepared for probably about a 3-hour video, because I'm assuming that's going to be about 2.5 minutes long. And we got about 50 minutes or so now out of a 48-second clip. So,
oh boy.
Yeah, we're cooked, bro. We're cooked. The movie isn't out for another like 8 months, something. I can't do math. Like 9 months? I don't know. 8 or 9 months at this point. It's
8 months.
8 months. It's not out for another 8 months. We have a 48-second teaser. We've just made like an hour-long video breaking it down. So, if you're as brain rotted as us, definitely drop a sub on the channel, and we'll see you guys next time.